And welcome back to Stevens Park, field number 2 for our second game in our doubleheader. 7-year-old ABC machine pitch baseball. The Phillies are taking the field, and it'll be the Phillies and the D-backs. As we've had an 8-year-old game between the Raptors and Saints, Phillies and D-backs are meeting here in this ball game. And Kason is going to step up. He is going to lead it off. This is going to be Kason Johnson. He will be the first batter as we get this game underway. Pretty much the same rules we played by with the 8-year-olds. It'll be those rules that we go by here in this game. They play a 1-hour time limit. As you take a look at Kason as he gets ready to bat.
Got to get his shoes adjusted up at the bat. A lot like the first game, both these teams sporting really nice-looking uniforms.
He tells the sponsor for these teams as Kason Johnson steps into the box. Kason, a 6-year-old, even though this is a 7-year-old league. And the first pitch, and we are underway.
Good swing that time by Kason. He was
Kason's
ready for that
parents,
pitch.
I believe, are Mike and Laura. Kind of hard to make out the D-backs. Got everything was written out. Handwritten and a little bit difficult to read, so we hope we get them all right, as this ball is going to end up being foul. And back to the plate's going to come Kason.
I tell you, Kason came up there swinging.
Braden, the on-deck batter. That's Braden Mathis. We play with a 60-second clock that's ticking down the right field line. And a nice swing by Kason. Each player gets 6 pitches or 3 strikes. 4 outfielders in this 7-year-old age group. And that's going to be a base hit. Nice job by Kason getting on top of that one and shooting a base hit in the left field.
No doubt about that time. That hit that time. Kason jumped all over that pitch and just drove it right into left field for a base hit. Good job there, Kason. You look at it again right there. Hits that pitch hard into left field for a base hit.
Batter now will be Braden Mathis. Braden fouls the first pitch back. So Braden Mathis, the batter. Parents are Chris and Leslie. He also is a 7-year-old, I should say, goes to St. John. Kason Johnson, the runner at first. Braden Mathis, the batter. And a line drive speared by the pitcher. And they're going to get a double play out of this. Boy, oh boy, tough luck for Braden making that catch and getting a double play.
I tell you, good job by the pitcher. I tell you, see the ball is being right back to him right there. He turns around, doesn't know what to do with it. Finally, somebody says, throws it over to first base. We'll get a double play, which is what he does.
David Flynn Jr. on the mound, speared that line drive, got the out. Jaden Bleakley now the batter. Josh and Jamie are his parents. And Jaden, ground ball, shortstop, base hit. Boy, he is going to hustle down that line.
He can run.
Pick up a base hit with 2 outs.
I tell you one thing, a little man, you see it right there, boy, he hustled down that line. He's got a little speed. You can see him right there. That ball goes through for a base hit, but he was trucking down that first base line.
Batter now is going to be Tyler Barriant. Tyler's dad, Chris, the head coach of the D-backs. Chris and Dawn, his parents, as he pops this one up. And a nice grab is going to be made. That catch will be made by Daniel Sears. And that's going to be the 3rd out of an inning, and a good inning it ends up being for the Phillies.
Watch this catch right there. I got it. Yes, I did. I had to check my glove first, but it's in there for the 3rd out.
Bottom of the 1st inning coming up as the Phillies get ready to come to bat. We'll take a look now at the rosters for both these ball clubs. Here is the D-backs roster in this 7-year-old ABC Machine Pitch League. Roster includes Tyler, Brad, Hayden, and Brock. Jaden, Cameron, Alex, Kason, Braden, Michael, Cameron, Ray, and Gavin. That's the roster for the 7-year-old D-backs team here in the Parish League. And the Phillies Roster includes Kyle and Carbon, Mason, Ethan, David, who caught that line drive, Jaden, Ike, Daniel, Aiden, Gavin, Wyatt, Anthony, and Nicholas. That's the Phillies roster. And that's a look inside the Phillies dugout. As you can see, lots of batting helmets going on as they are ready to hit. Looking to put some runs on the board here in the bottom of the first.
They got to be very happy with the way they played defense in that first inning. They made 2 big plays.
So, bottom of the first inning coming up. D-backs put some balls in play, but the Phillies able to make some plays. Phillies head coach is Clay Frederick. And you got Gavin Gregoire is going to lead it off here in the bottom of the first inning.
That's Gavin right there.
Gavin getting some last-minute instructions from his head coach, Clay Frederick.
And I wait for the catcher here. You look at Gavin right there. Hey, his grandparents are Reno and Hope Gregoire, Reno Seafood, who fed us during the football season for East Ascension games.
So Gavin's Ryan and Misty, his parents. He's only a 6-year-old, first grade.
A hefty chunk of that ball. He took a good swing there.
Gavin attends St. John Primary. 7-year-old age group. Had an 8-year-old ball game earlier between the Raptors and Saints.
Good ball game, too.
Gavin Gregoire, the batter, with David Flynn Jr. on deck.
Good
ball
swing.
Fouled and out of play by Gavin. We're going to be talking with Dean Mayo, the league president for ABC Baseball in the parish. We're going to talk with Dean in the second inning. Detailed game of the week, bottom of the first here in this 7-year-old league. As this ball is going to be hit in the left field, and it's going to be a base hit. Gavin Gregoire starts it off for the Phillies with a hit.
Well, the Phillies, a little background. They're 16-6 overall this season. 7-1 in preseason jamboree. Lost their first game, came back to win the whole thing. 9-5 in regular season play. Then on 8-game winning streak, the Phillies are.
Going to bring up now David Flynn Jr. David steps in the batter's box. David and Kelly, his parents. David is a 6-year-old in the first grade. Goes to Dutchtown Primary. So we got a leadoff base runner. Catcher is Braden Mathis for the D-backs. David Flynn, the batter. Takes a nice healthy cut.
Nice little job there by the catcher for the Diamondbacks.
Anthony Zalzarulo is the on-deck hitter for the Phillies. Out at field number 2 here at Stevens Park on Cannon Road out in the parish. Good swing by David. School letting out this week. Only one more week of baseball left out in the parish. Memorial Day week. Final week of the play in the tournaments. They're going to be wrapping up regular seasons wrapped up. Now tournament play.
No swing and a miss that time.
So Gavin Gregoire, the runner at first base. Batter David Flynn. We're in the bottom of the first inning. These ball games go 6 innings or a 1-hour time limit. That's a look at Gavin over at first base, ready to take off at the crack of the bat. And a foul ball right side.
Getting his swings in.
Nice hustle by the first baseman. That is Michael Brizzard. Michael trying to catch up with that line drive. He's ready. Got the glove on the ground. Ready to make a play on defense. And that ball's going to find a hole, and it's going to roll for a while. Gavin's going to stop at second base. Now they send him to third. And runners are going to be at first and third with nobody out. Now Gavin's going to head home, and he's going to score.
With it, they like to slide, all these runners.
And the Phillies have scored first.
See the play right there. The ball's going to get through. Finally, it's cut off right there behind the center fielder. Hustles the throw back in. No confusion right there. And ask him to see Gregoire sliding to third. Dakota says, come on, Gavin. Head home and watch Gavin slide in there with the first run for the Phillies.
Anthony Salzarulo, the batter now. First pitch to Anthony. Anthony's parents are Sean and Ryan. 7 years old. He's in the first grade. Goes to Santa Maria Primary. Adjusts his batting glove. Run in. David Flynn Jr., the runner at first base. On deck is Daniel Sears. And a nice cut by Anthony.
And one thing is the first couple of batters for the Phillies, they swing that bat pretty good. They swung through a few pitches, but they also made good contact.
Nice cut by Anthony. David Flynn, one of the assistant coaches, handling the pitching machine for the Phillies as they bat.
Taking a lot of time with that machine. Anthony's taking his swings.
6 pitches. David Flynn Jr., the runner at first base. And we got our first out of the inning. Going to bring up Daniel Sears to the plate. Daniel's parents are David and April. 7 years old, a first grader, Prairieville Primary. Most of these guys in the first grade, so that means they're headed to the second. And
Popped up straight back.
Had a very good 8-year-old ball game between the Raptors and Saints.
No extra inning affair, but it was good.
This is the Phillies and Diamondbacks. This is actually a tournament game in their league tournament. Ball hit in the right field for a base hit. The throw to first will be not quite in time. Run it down. Nice hustle. Good hustle by Michael Brizzard as he ran down the runner, but also coming in to score is going to be David Flynn.
What? You watch this run down. Ball goes right there. Final run. Throws a coming to first base. Lizard right there catches the ball. There's the races on right there. He tags him right on the back before he got to second base for the out.
So 2 away. This is going to be Nick Frederick. Nick's dad, Clay, the head coach, mom, Kelly. And Nick, like so many of his teammates, a 7-year-old in the first grade. And Nick attends at Galvez Primary. Ready to get another rally going for the Phillies. Fouls this one back. Very colorful shirts that these teams are wearing in this 7-year-old and 8-year-old league.
Very nice looking uniforms.
Saints had some nice uniforms earlier on our doubleheader. Now these Philly jerseys, just like the script, just like on the Philly Big League team shirts. Nice swing by Nick, fouling it back. One second grader, everybody else is in the first grade on this Phillies team.
A lot of youngsters, a lot of baseball ahead for these young men.
Coming up, we're going to speak with Dean Mayo, league president, in the second inning. While you look around and see all these little guys decked out in their uniforms. 7-year-olds playing out here in the parish, like this slugger right here at the plate, Nick Frederick. Foul ball at the plate.
He's getting his cuts.
And that's going to be the third out of the inning. So we're through one. Phillies and D-backs. 7-year-old baseball on the ETEL Game of the Week.
In times like these, your business has to work smart to make it. ETEL can help. We've got all the business services you need with reliable phone and TV service, the fastest internet speeds available, 24-hour network monitoring, plus superior rated customer service and support. ETEL grows when you do, with scalability that's both fast and flexible on the only 100% fiber network. Make the smart choice. Call or visit etel.com/business today.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the soccer star to the soccer mom. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Lyle Boudreaux along with Easton Roth back at field number 2 at Stevens Park. 7-year-old baseball here in the parish. And as we go on to the second inning, we are joined by Dean Mayo, who is the league president. There's a look at Dean. And Dean, we want to thank you for stopping by. Also want to thank you for basically putting this night together, because you combined the 7s and 8s so that we could get 2 different age groups. And we really appreciate your cooperation.
And it looked like it worked out good. That first game went into extra innings, and this one's actually a tournament game, so they're playing their postseason tournament.
Get ready for that. There's a lot of balls going to be coming back, looking like it's going to hit us. As the batter right now is going to be Michael Brizard. Michael is going to bat to lead it off here in the second inning. And talking about this is a tournament game, you got, I guess, some regular season rainout games still being made up, and some of the leagues are in tournament play. As this ball is smoked down the left field line. And Michael's going to end up with a double at second base. And a good start for the Diamondbacks. Well, Michael's going to keep going to third base. And how about that for some hustle all the way to third base? Fun watching these guys run the bases, isn't it?
Very good. I was also talking with the league rep for the 7-year-olds, and he was telling me how these 24 players here, probably about half of them are all 6-year-olds playing up. So these are playing some good baseball right now.
You see there as the runner Michael ends up at third base. The batter now is going to be Gavin Phillips. So Gavin's a 7-year-old, goes to Dutchtown. He's now batting with a teammate at third and nobody out. And Dean, what about as far as you got some of the age groups are playing tournament ball right now, but I guess first off, you're the president of all age groups, and that covers, what, 3-year-olds all the way to 18-year-olds?
Right. Ascension Baseball Committee is involved with 3-year-olds. For the 3 and 4-year-olds, we call it small ball over at Paula Park. Their games are just getting started for the last 2 weeks. And, of course, Stevens Parks has the 7s through 12s. That would look foul. And at Santa Maria Park, we have the 13 to 15-year-old age groups and 16 to 18-year-olds. And we're actually one of the few programs in the state that has a an entire league of 16, 18-year-old players playing baseball.
This is Gavin Phillips right now batting for the D-backs, and you're affiliated with what, Pony Baseball, Babe Ruth Baseball?
Babe Ruth Baseball.
And I believe also Cal Ripken, right? Or,
yeah, the younger age groups are considered Cal Ripken. It used to be the Bambino League, and they renamed it Cal Ripken several years ago.
Run is going to score on that ground out. Michael's going to come in to score. Gavin is going to be safe at first base. D-backs have their first run of the day. And it is going to now bring up Cameron Dean as we take a look at this slow roller to third base and hit a ball right there. Not much the defense is going to do at 7 years old, is it?
Not much.
Here's Cameron Dean, the batter. Hey, how about that ball in the left field for a base hit? Well, you sit here to join us, Dean, and all of a sudden the D-backs, they just stinging the ball left and right, and we got an out at second base because unfortunately Gavin stepped off the bag and ends up being tagged out.
And also, some of these 7-year-olds, it's the first year they're dealing with that. And part of our T-ball program, we don't have them get out on bases. We just let them hit the ball and run the bases to teach them the basics. And that's one of the mental blocks they're going through right now.
Batter right now is Ray. Ray hits a roller to the right side, hustles down the line, and he is going to be called out. That's Ray Thomas. And look at this hustle. And coming in to score is Cameron Dean. Well, one thing I have noticed, Dean, is that these players love to slide, don't they?
Oh, yes. I've got some that I'm coaching in T-ball right now. They got no business sliding at all, and every time they go to a base, they're sliding. I'm not even teaching them that yet.
I believe they would rather slide than run through a base, wouldn't they?
That's right. We had a little wet weather a couple weeks ago, and they had a chance to play in the mud, and they enjoyed it.
Here is Hayden Bessonette now, the batter. Hayden is going to bat with 2 outs in the inning, takes a nice cut. As far as this machine pitch, what age groups does that entail for the boys?
For us right now, it's the 7s and 8s only. When we switched to Babe Ruth, we kind of got into that. We were doing coach's pitch. And we think it's helping the batters out a little bit because they're getting more consistent strikes. And you can see from the bat swings going on here, a lot of the long hit balls, it seems to be working out for them.
Hayden's parents are Calvin and Tony. He's a 7-year-old, and he goes to St. George. Wyatt Stafford doing the catching for the Phillies. There is 2 outs in the inning as we play in the top of the second. And look at that line drive right there, speared. That ball is caught by David Flint Jr. That is the second one that David has caught today. As you see the swing of the bat, not fair to hit one that hard, and it ends up being an out. Well, we're going to move on now to the bottom of the second inning, and we're going to take a look at the coaches for both these ball clubs. We want to thank them for their cooperation as we put this together, with also the cooperation of the league president, Dean Mayo. Here it is, the Phillies coaches, Clay Frederick, assistant coaches David Flynn, David Sears, and Ryan Gregoire. And Clay really provided us with a lot of information. Really appreciate the things that he gave to us.
Clay is doing an outstanding job this season. I've heard nothing but good things about him.
And we've also got the D-backs as they get ready to take the field. Chris Barriant, the head coach. Mike Johnson, Shane Brazard, and Calvin Bessonette are helping him. So lots of coaches, lots of people involved in these programs. That it's all about parents and volunteers, isn't it?
Yes, sir. And I believe these 2 head coaches are moving on to do an all-star team together. So they're going to be combining forces at the end of the season and moving on into postseason play.
Let's talk about the numbers, Dean. You talk about you start them at 3 years old, go all the way up to 18. You have any kind of idea about some numbers that are playing parish ball this summer?
Yes, sir. First of all, I would say Ascension Parish is baseball rich. I think you can tell from the high school teams having well represented. In T-ball right now, in small ball, we got about 30 teams of 13 each. So
that's I was looking on your website. That's amazing.
That's about 350 kids playing baseball at Paula Park.
3 and 4 year olds.
3 and 4 year olds only, yes, sir.
My goodness.
And about another 300 playing 5 and 6. And in our 7s to 12s, we got about 400 players playing at Stevens Park.
This is Wyatt Stafford leading it off. Wyatt takes a nice swing. Alvin and Angela are his parents. He's a 6-year-old first grader at Lake Elementary as he takes a practice swing. And I guess with the parish growing like it is, I mean, you just got so many kids looking for places to play ball, don't you?
Yes, sir. And we're a rec league, and we go on an all-star program. They're all travel teams also. Like I said, Ascension Parish is baseball rich. A lot of our players leave this and go on to play travel baseball and move on. And some come back, some don't. And you can tell they all love the game, love the sport.
Well, out here where we're at Stevens Park, which is on Cannon Road, I think you got, what, 7 fields out here?
Yes, sir.
And what do you do? Start at 7 out here, going up to 12? Or?
7s to 12s play out here, and like I was saying earlier, a lot of this 7-year-old league does have a lot of 6-year-olds that decided to play up. They felt they weren't getting enough experience in the T-ball, and so they wanted to try their hand, and so that's why our 7-year-old league grew a little bit this year because of that.
But T-ball, is that all just played at Paula Park?
Yes, sir.
And that's the one where you have the large numbers in those 2 age groups, isn't it?
Yes, and it actually does help support the Ascension Youth Softball, which plays over at Butch Gore Park.
Right.
We that's one of the reasons why our numbers feed their program also. We just happen to run the T-ball portion of it.
Now, ETEL is a part of this ABC program, and I notice all the jerseys have the ETEL logo on the right sleeves.
Yes, ETEL is one of our largest corporate sponsors. In fact, I believe it is the largest corporate sponsor. That's part of the president. That's one of the things that's new to me, getting involved and learning all of that portion of it. But they have done a lot of help for us. I think they helped spend some time at our pitcher day for T-ball at one point. And like I said, they put all the signs up, and we got our logos on all our jerseys. And it's actually, I just saw a T-ball player run around. It's on the T-ball shirts also.
Mason Miles is the batter right now. There is one out in the inning. Mason tries to get something going, hits a little tapper third base side, and that is going to end up being a foul ball. So Mason's going to have to head back.
We really appreciate also the opportunity for this game of the week. It's really brings attention to the program, lets everybody know it is a community effort. All of our coaches are volunteers, and ETEL helps us by raising money and keeping those volunteers having equipment to work with.
You know, we wish we could do more with these games of the week, but there's only so many games that we can cover during the course of the summer. But I know, talking to some of the people before the first game we did, the 8-year-olds, the boys, they really like it. That's going to be a fair ball down the first base line. And stopping at first base is Mason. Now he's going to go late to second base, and looks like he's going to make it. Well, he's going to keep on going. And he's going to end up at third base. See a lot of triples out here, don't you?
Yes, you do. I have also seen some home runs on this field, so they do put the bat on the ball a lot. Like I said, it's one of the advantages of the machine pitch. We're hoping it helps us out. As they move on in age groups, they'll move on into 9s. And 9-year-olds, we have them pitching for the first time. Associated with Babe Ruth now, we don't allow them to steal. And so it lets the pitchers concentrate on pitching the baseball. So we give them 1 year, 2 years of looking at the correct pitches, and then next year they're judging the pitches.
This is Ethan Nelson. Mason stopped at every base a moment ago, but he did end up where he wanted to go, third base. As Nathan the batter, Craig and Leanne Nelson are his parents, 7 years old. First grader, he goes to Woodlawn Elementary. Why don't you tell us about, once the leagues are wrapping up now, I think next week, Memorial Weekend, or Memorial Week is your final week, and then you go into postseason play, as this ball is going to be hit and caught. Oh, nice grab.
Yes.
That catch made by Michael Brizard.
Oh, and he scores.
But what about what you got coming up as we look at that grab again by Michael at first base?
So we had a little rainouts problem. So some teams had more teams than others, and so they didn't get all their rainout games in. 7-year-olds is one of the groups that got all theirs in. They're trying to finish up their tournament so they can move on into All-Stars. But we are a league first, and so we're going to finish our postseason tournament, and everybody's playing in a full double elimination tournament. It's going to end up next weekend on June 1st.
What about fall ball? Do y'all have that with the parish, or how does that work?
Yes, actually the fall ball program really does a lot. We changed the rules up a little bit to let the players. I think it's fair. No, called it foul.